try. I'm gonna start this and then I'm going to end it immediately so I can pick a hard problem. So I feel like medium's okay, but I feel like hard problems are a little bit more useful in my time of studying. So let's start it. All right, given S and P, implement wildcard pattern support for question star where question matches any characters and star matches any sequence of characters. Any single character. So this DFS with some rules. The length is 2000, which means that the stack depth can be quite big, actually. There is a few cases, so there's this, and regular. So regular base case is like if S of 0 is P of 0, then obviously we've matched, and we could probably just do well, if length of S0 is 1 and length of S is 1 and length of P is 1, then just return true. This is a single character left, basically, at the end of the string, and if they're both 1, meaning exact final character to character match, and then they're actually the same character, then do that. Else, is there a better way to organize this actually? Well, because this is a regular case, so then the top one has to be like non-special characters. Or length of, no, I'll take care of that in a different case. Or P of 0 is a question mark, then it's an automatic match. And then if we have a single character match, then we just want to do this. So advance both substrings by 1. And what if we have a difference in length? So suppose suppose this was AAA, right? And then we do this, and then on the third piece A, this would have been empty already. So if length is 0, it's false. Conversely, it's false, I think. This might be a special case for like the question mark and regular case. So I believe that handles the regular case. And I also believe that handles the question mark case. So it's the star case that's, I guess, more complicated. And length S is more than 0. You could imagine the case where P is just the star, and so we want to return true, and we burn this. So we don't want to do this if it's star. My question is, can we do like star star, you know? Replace dot replace. Okay. S dot replace. So P dot replace with what? With empty string. So this prevents like if I have like star 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 on P, and it's like, so I can just strip all the stars, and then if it's 0, then there's no stars, so there's no like wildcard matching. So if it's 0, even if it's a 0 and it's a question mark, then that's still return false. Yeah. it's kind of like a lot of cases handle. I guess that's why it's a hard problem. So empty string, and if I stripped all the stars, it means that there's some non-star character. So if S is empty and there's some non-star character, we return false. Or P is 0 and length of S is not 0, then we have mismatch and return false. Let's put it in quotes. Right, if they're both 0, we actually don't want to return false, we want to return true. But I guess also that's handled here, so. All right, that's fine. This is sufficient. If empty string S, I'm allowed to have some stars, but then the stripped stars would be length 0. So this would evaluate to false. And the other case is if P is 0, there's nothing to match, but the S is too long. That's also return false. If length of S is 0 though, and so I have an empty string, but this also matches. So this was either an empty string or it had some stars in it, in which case it would match the empty string, so we return true. And what else? So like, you know, this covers like S comma P, right? Like A and like empty string, which is this case statement. And then this also covers like, suppose there's no asterisks, then this just means that S is empty, and then, you know, or star or CD star or whatever. And then also suppose there was stars, then it's kind of the same. And yeah, so that's like these first three, and or even this is like not a match, right? So, and then we, in this bottom case, we have just like this and this, but also this and this or this. Return true. Here we're saying simply this and this, return true, so that's great. Or this and this. Can I be length of 0 and then not? No. If I'm length of 0, this is either 0 or it's not 0, so length of 0 is exhaustively checked. So this means that this piece of code has length of S at least 1 or higher. So here, if it is an exact match, or if this, meaning S is explicitly length 1 and P is explicitly length 1, return true. Otherwise, return true because then we're at the last letter. Otherwise, there's like some characters left. And then if there's some characters left, just chop off the matched bits and then just go forward. Okay, here we imply that S is of length more than 1. And we also imply that if P is 0 and S is 0, I just want to be more explicit because I don't want to deal with so this is explicit because now we say it's either this or this, so length of P after this point must be more than 0. So we don't want to just run into any like key error stuff. Okay, so 15 minutes down. All right, next is the star situation. What do we have in the star situation? We could have, you know, A, B, C, D, star, C, D. We'd have like A, B, C, D, star, star. We'd have like A, B, C, D. We have like star, but then that's covered up here as a base case, so we don't have to consider that. So what do we want to do here? We want to check basically this against this, this against this, this against this, this against this, right? So let's do this first case first. So we could do this can spawn BCD this, or this can spawn ABCD this, because you could also have ABCD, right? And in this case, you just want to chop off this guy. So you can burn this guy and then keep this, which is what this says, or you can burn the asterisk and keep the S. Meaning, so you can match empty or however many much. So this is saying like match empty, and then this is saying like match any. Because if you go into here, let's say this was D, then you can chop, you chop to BCD, and then in the next recursive statement, P0 is still a star, and then you kind of chop, and then you kind of chop, and you would chop again, but then this would trigger this more specifically, and you return false. So let's go back up one stack, and then you would actually do preserve S but chop off the star, and then this would match vis-a-vis this, and then you return true. So running through a lot of cases, I think I just want to run it because it's kind of hard to step through everything and debug. Say false, true, false, true, 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 false, true, false, true, true, true. Let's see if this works. Time limit exceeded. But what about the details? Test case pass. There's no test case fail. I guess star 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 is incoherent, so perhaps we can just massage the P. Where if we have two consecutive stars, we don't do it. Because then the consecutive stars, I feel like that would just explode in state. So for char in P, well, for I in range length of P, in range 1 to the length of P, if P of I equals P of I minus 1 and P of I equals an asterisk, then delete P of I minus 1. The strings are immutable, which is why perhaps I could just do popping is like kind of annoying because you have to go backwards in indices and it's kind of a mess. All right, so if we don't have this condition, let's just copy this over. So append P of I. So in this case, if P of I, like here, right, is equals this one, we would have appended this first one, but then P of I equals minus 1 and P of I is this, so then we just continue and we don't append it. Same thing here. Here we don't have an equality between these two adjacents, so we would just append B. So we go star A B star B A star B star B star A B star B. And then what we want to do is P equals string of temp to convert it back. Let's see if this runs. Okay. Well, is it too long? Oh, it's this then, and if I is not 0, then we do this. If I is 0, then we always append it. Okay, so let's not print P and then see if this condensation helps with the speed. Okay. I think if you get this far in an interview, I think you're pretty good, to be honest. Because this condensation is like a pretty good optimization. Yeah, I would say this is sufficient for me. So I would just call this a win. There's no fail. But I'm curious, in discussion, they use a DP. Linear runtime and constant space solution. Okay, no Python. Anyone use Python? DP with illustration. I see. And my previous is a star. I see, I guess, yeah, okay, so you can DP this one. This table says if, I mean, a star would match true to any, and also this. True, and then so what is this equation? This equation says 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. So let's say 2, 2. So if pattern of this is in this or question mark, then it's true. Fair enough. So this is just describing well, I minus 1, so maybe like this, B, let's say here. Bj minus 1 referring to this, and I minus 1 referring to matching this. Okay, so it's just basically matching column with row is this, and this is just a string match. If I'm a star, then I am doing I minus 1, j minus 1, I minus 1, j minus 1, I minus 1, j. I minus 1 is looking at the previous, let's see. I see. This one's kind of difficult. And then so here it says ij of 1 or more. If this is in s of -1 or question mark, then just propagate ij this, so it's true. And then here we have 2 and oh, I see. This, okay. So here we have a star for this. If P of this is in this, so empty string in empty string, that's true actually. So you would just give it true. Oh, true here. Okay. And then, yeah, this is kind of a weird bottom right propagation. That's probably how you have to do it. And then if j -1 equals star, so let's say this next one is a star, then this says this is a star in the previous character, then it's gonna be this or this which is this or this. So any of these. But what does it mean? I guess this says if the previous one is a star, then it's a star matching an empty string, or star A matching, or star this character matching whatever, and then star matching this. Yeah, I'm not sure what this. So it's this or this, actually. I get this because we're saying if star and me, so like star and me says that the star has matched an empty character and A has matched this character, and then this says I guess I don't get what this says at all. So star matches whatever, but if A doesn't match, like let's say this is B, right? Yeah, I guess I don't know why they did it like this. They intentionally added 1 to everything so that they can at the end refer to this. So why not do this without the -1 is what I don't get. This part I understand. It's just like handling case where you have a bunch of stars serially, but I don't really get. I mean, I kind of get this I-1, J-1 situation, but I don't really get this ludicrous situation. This I minus and j minus one sort of makes sense if you say, well, you could also just say pattern j equals, you know, like is in string of I, comma, question mark, and then just assign to I, comma, j, I feel like. Yeah, I really don't get why this +1, and there's no explanation for it. They also do this here. I'll probably watch this video later. I guess I'll just stare at this for another 8 minutes. So I guess in this table, like how I'm interpreting is like the pattern against the string. So star is always going to be true, right? Because it matches everything. Star A is going to match, this asterisk matches empty, but star A doesn't match just empty because it's too long. So here, let's suppose this is true, right? So A matches with star and A matches with star A. It also matches with star A star. So I guess the thing here is like, suppose this was star B. If this was star B, then pattern J minus 1 is going to be an asterisk. So we would fall through this case. And then so it's going to say IJ, which is 2, 1. Sorry, 1, 2. This is going to say, even if it's star B, it's going to say true or false, which would be true. So even if this was star B pattern, it seems like, unless I'm reading something wrong, if this is star B pattern, then doesn't this break? So if I'm 1, 2, then asterisk IJ is one, 2, so 1, 2, and then so keep the solution. All right, I'll just Control X it. And then paste it somewhere else, like this window. All right, what do they have here? Copy, paste, and I'm curious if this runs. I just want to see a table for asterisk B and A. So this has the true, true, false, as they said, and then this has false, true, false. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. So J is 2 here. And if J is 2, then J minus 1 is 1, it's an asterisk, so we fall through here. So 1, 2, would that mean 0, like it would mean this or this or this. So why is this false? So 1, 2. Oh, I see. I see. Actually, I don't see. So if J is 2, then that's referring to B. Because we append an empty string. But if J is 2, oh my god, I really hate these plus minus 1 stuff. I can write recursion, but I can't add or minus 1. All right, I get it. So they added this empty string, so then this P and this S is like 1 longer than usual. So I guess now that they're just saying J minus 1 is just basically referring to like if you're referring to this here, this A in this matrix is 2, but then if you have to offset it by 1, so it actually is just referring to like the jth. So I guess because these indices are with respect to the matrix, and then yeah, it's with respect to the matrix is 1 bigger, and then you do the subtraction to map the index back to the space for the pattern and string. So this is just saying is A in this, and or if this is a question mark, in which case it would vacuously match. Okay. Otherwise, if it's an asterisk, then I would just match, and ij is just gonna be taking, well, yeah, it's gonna be taking this, which is just saying this has matched an empty sequence, or at least a sequence that's not gonna consider this current character, or j minus 1 refer to this column, right? Yeah. So suppose this, referring to this column, if I'm an asterisk, then I'm saying it's this, which means, you know, like the previous has matched, which is great because like star A has matched A, or if, or maybe this is better, up to the letter before asterisk is matched, which means the star can just match an empty sequence and we're still true, or it's ij minus 1 is the empty case, right? So we matched up to here, and then the star doesn't need to do anything, it'll vacuously match, or it's I minus 1 j, which means that the asterisk going up to the asterisk has matched up to the previous string character, and then so if I add a new character, it doesn't matter, I'm an asterisk, so I can match anything, so I just append to it. Yeah, I think this one is okay to omit. I don't see the value of this. And then this is saying if this current character is matched, then we want to update the current character, which this ij maps to this. It's just going to propagate the previous match. Right? So if the previous didn't match, then obviously an exact character match later on is not going to match. Okay. I think the recursive solution is also acceptable, but I guess this one is formed so that they want you to do DP. All right, that's it for this one. Talk later.